to another episode of Alvin and the Bradys. This is episode 29. But in the last episode, we were talking about, Alvin and the Chipmunks, their mother, So yeah, we were talking about, the first episode. I guess Dave was a musician, and he wrote a song. He was trying to write a song, and he had like a house in the forest, and he was trying to write a song. But they didn't like his song, so and so he was getting a new landlord in that episode. And they were very strict about, pets. And anyway, I was telling you about, I guess someone dropped off, the baby chipmunks, Alvin, Simon, and Theodore, and the note said, "Dear kind sir, because winter's been so cold and there's been a nut shortage, please take good care of my 3 boys." So yeah, I told you that before, and so he saw the 3, Alvin, Simon, and Theodore, on his doorstep, and it didn't really work out for them at first, because they were getting into everything and being curious, and and actually Simon first appeared without his glasses in that episode. Just a pair of glasses fell on him, and he could see, and basically, he still wasn't making any progress in his. He couldn't pay the rent, and his landlord discovered that he had pets, and he was he like basically he was basically threatening to feed them to the snakes at the zoo, and that's what I guess his landlord kidnapped them and locked them in a cage, the baby chipmunks, after a while, and he put them in the zoo for the snake to eat, but they were able to, the 3 baby chipmunks were able to, sing to the snake, so, he wouldn't, so the snake at the zoo wouldn't eat the chipmunks, so, and, after that, I guess they went down to the studio where Dave worked, his music studio, and they sang, the Witch Doctor. Ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah. That was actually the very first song that, Ross Bagdasarian Sr., a.k.a. Dave Seville, ever recorded. So, that was the very first song that the Chipmunks ever sang. So, so I guess, heard this at the studio, and it's some, I guess, the Chipmunks, like, unwillingly recorded it at the studio, and Dave got a promotion, and eventually, they moved out of that house and into a new house, their current house, and, that was basically the Chipmunk story. I mean, it was, they didn't have as tough a time as, the Chipettes. I mean, they just couldn't, find Dave after they were taken to the zoo inside the snake where they'd be eaten. So anyway, there was a special. It was called the Chipmunk Reunion, and this is where the Chipmunks, the Alvin, Simon, and Theodore, they wonder when their birthday was, and Dave just says, around when they found them on their doorstep, but they wanted to go out and try to find their mother, and so the Chipettes came over to Dave's house to explain what was going on with the three boy chipmunks, and that's another episode where they got along, and so they tried to look for their mother, but it was a dangerous world out there. I mean, I think they almost drowned, and they were getting attacked by wild animals, but eventually they did make it to meet their mom, Vinny, after a long time, but Alvin was mad because she left them, but the reason was because of the nut shortage, and it was so cold, and she wanted her boys to be warm, and stuff. So but it was very nice that they got to see their mom again, and they had the Chipettes and Dave came along, and they had a little party. Shake it up. That was the song. Shake it up. By the Cars. Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much there were several episodes of the Chipmunks which showed them as babies. There was of course the Chipmunk story, a Chipmunk reunion, and I think one other film flam or something. And it actually shows Simon crying in one of the flashbacks in that episode, because the blocks fell over, and but anyway, the Chipettes, it's a different story. There was only one episode which showed them as babies, and not too much, there wasn't too much of that. I mean, they weren't really main characters, so they didn't Chipmunks and Chipettes didn't really grow up together, unfortunately, so there's not much to be, said about that. But all we know is they had, a kid named Olivia take care of them, and nobody. And by the way, I should tell you, Vinny, the Chipmunks' parent, the Chipmunks' mother, she actually kind of looks like Jeanette a little bit. She has like dark hair, and she actually looks more like a chipmunk. And I should also, she's the only other chipmunk character, and then there's another one named Uncle Harry. He's just, I don't know what relation he has, but he's another character who's a chipmunk, and he's kind of a con artist. He appears in like 2 episodes, and he looks a bit like an older version of Alvin, and his voice is real raspy like Popeye. Yeah, he first appeared in an episode called Uncle Harry, and then I think A Little Worm in the Big Apple. Oh, and he was also there was a Christmas themed episode called Santa Harry, but he was a con artist. He was a very minor character. He only appeared in 3 episodes. So, there's also Vinny. She kind of looks like Jeanette. And I've always wondered, well, in the next video, I'll talk more about, the Chipettes. Like what their family is all about and stuff. So, this has been episode 29, so see you all in the next video. Thanks, bye. Comment, subscribe, whatever you have to do. Thanks, bye.